Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern era coins that continues to capture the attention of collectors, history lovers, and everyday people who enjoy discovering hidden treasures in their pocket change. This video is all about the United States of America 1968 Washington quarter dollar, a coin that represents a powerful moment in American history and holds a special place in the world of numismatics. As you watch, imagine holding this quarter in your hand. At first glance it may look like an ordinary coin, but behind its design, metal composition, and minting story lies a rich narrative that connects economics, culture, and the changing face of American money. This is not just about a coin, it is about a moment in time. The year 1968 was a turning point for the United States. The country was experiencing social change, political tension, and economic adjustments. These national shifts were reflected even in everyday objects like coins. By this time, the U.S. Mint had already made a major transition away from precious metal circulating coinage. Silver quarters were no longer being struck for general use, and clad coinage had taken over. The Washington quarter of 1968 is part of this new era, representing a shift toward practicality and mass circulation. The design of the Washington quarter remained familiar and reassuring during uncertain times. The obverse features the dignified portrait of George Washington, facing left, a design originally created by sculptor John Flanagan. Washington's strong profile symbolizes leadership, stability, and endurance. These qualities resonated deeply with Americans during a period of rapid change. The word liberty arches above his head, while the national motto appears nearby, reinforcing the ideals upon which the nation was built. Turning the coin over reveals the iconic eagle with outstretched wings, perched proudly and clutching arrows and olive branches. This imagery speaks to strength and peace, power and responsibility. The reverse design connects the coin to decades of American tradition, reminding us that even as materials and minting methods change, the spirit of the country remains constant. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1968 Washington quarter is its mint mark. This year marked the return of mint marks to U.S. coinage after a temporary removal earlier in the decade. Mint marks were reintroduced to help discourage hoarding and restore public confidence in circulating coins. As a result, collectors today pay close attention to where these quarters were produced. Quarters from this year were struck at multiple mint facilities, each contributing its own subtle characteristics. Coins minted in Denver bear a small letter indicating their origin, while those produced in San Francisco carry their own distinctive mark. There were also special proof issues made with extra care, designed for collectors rather than circulation. Each version has its own story, its own appeal, and its own place in the broader narrative of American coinage. Condition plays a major role in how these coins are viewed today. A quarter that spent decades moving from hand to hand tells a story through its wear, scratches, and softened details. On the other hand, examples that were carefully preserved show sharp features, strong strikes, and original luster that catches the light beautifully. Collectors often examine Washington's hair details, the eagle's feathers, and the clarity of the lettering to assess overall quality. Another factor that adds intrigue to the 1968 quarter is the possibility of variations and special characteristics. Proof coins from this era are known for their mirror light fields and frosted designs, creating a striking visual contrast. Some examples may show deeper cameo effects, making them especially attractive to collectors who appreciate fine detail and eye appeal. Beyond physical characteristics, what truly makes this coin compelling is its historical context. These quarters circulated during a time when Americans were grappling with major questions about identity, progress, and the future. Every transaction made with this coin was part of daily life, whether it paid for a newspaper, a cup of coffee, or a bus ride. Each coin silently witnessed countless personal stories. For modern collectors, The 1968 Washington Quarter offers an accessible gateway into numismatics. It is a coin that encourages learning, comparison, and appreciation. New collectors can start by searching through rolls, while experienced enthusiasts enjoy hunting for the finest examples or assembling complete sets by mint mark and finish. The enduring popularity of the Washington Quarter series also adds to the appeal. This design remained in use for decades, becoming one of the most recognizable coins in American history. The 1968 issue sits at an important midpoint in that long run, bridging the gap between the silver era and the modern clad era. When people talk about the worth of this coin, they are often referring to more than just money. There is value in history, in craftsmanship, and in the thrill of discovery. Holding a coin from 1968 is like holding a small, durable piece of the past. It connects generations and sparks curiosity about how something so small can carry so much meaning. Collectors often describe the satisfaction of finding a well-preserved example, noticing the crisp rim, the balanced strike, and the subtle shine that hints at careful storage over the years. These details matter because they reflect how the coin has survived the passage of time. As interest in coin collecting continues to grow, coins like the 1968 Washington Quarter remain relevant. They remind us that even modern coins can be collectible, meaningful, and worthy of attention. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or someone just beginning to explore the hobby, this quarter offers a rich and rewarding experience. Story is not just about a coin, but about an era, a mint, and a small everyday object that quietly traveled through millions of hands while carrying a deeper value beneath its surface. We are diving into the United States of America Washington Quarter dollar with the 1993p mint mark. This coin may look ordinary at first glance, but once you understand its background, design, condition, and collector appeal, you begin to see why it captures so much attention among coin enthusiasts and curious viewers alike. So settle in, because this journey through American numismatic history is detailed, engaging, and filled with insights you may never have heard before. The era behind the COI and the early 1990s were a time of transition in the United States. Technology was advancing, global politics were shifting, and American culture was redefining itself. In the middle of this evolving landscape, the United States Mint continued its long tradition of producing circulating coinage that served both practical and symbolic purposes. The Washington Quarter had already been part of daily American life for decades by this point, and in 1993 it remained one of the most recognized and trusted coins in circulation. The Philadelphia Mint, identified by the P mint mark, was working at full capacity, striking coins meant to move quickly through the economy while still honoring the legacy of the nation's first president. The Washington Quarter legacy. The Washington Quarter is more than spare change. First introduced in the early 20th century, it was created to honor George Washington, a figure whose image symbolizes leadership, independence, and national identity. By the time the 1993p quarter was struck, the design had already become iconic. Generations of Americans had grown up seeing this coin, using it in vending machines, parking meters, and everyday transactions. Yet despite its familiarity, each year and mint carries subtle differences that collectors carefully study and appreciate. Design and artistic details on the obverse of the coin. The left-facing portrait of George Washington stands with quiet authority. The sculpting is dignified and balanced, capturing strength without excess. The word liberty appears prominently, reinforcing the ideals upon which the nation was built. The motto "In God We Trust" is placed respectfully, reflecting its long-standing role in American coinage. The date beneath the portrait marks the moment in history when this particular coin entered the world. Turning the coin over reveals the reverse design that collectors know so well. The eagle, wings spread wide, symbolizes freedom, vigilance, and power. Olive branches below represent peace, reminding viewers that strength and diplomacy must coexist. The words United States of America and quarter dollar frame the design, making the coin's identity unmistakable. While the design remained consistent for many years, collectors pay close attention to strike quality, luster, and preservation, all of which can dramatically affect desirability. The Philadelphia Mint and the PMARK. The Philadelphia Mint holds a special place in American history. As the nation's first mint, it represents tradition, craftsmanship, and continuity. Coins produced there often carry no mint mark in earlier years, but later issues proudly display the P. The presence of this mark on the 1993 quarter tells us exactly where it was made and connects it directly to one of the most important institutions in U.S. coinage. For collectors, the mint mark is more than a letter. It is a clue, a signature, and a point of identity. Condition and collector interest. When it comes to coins like the 1993 Washington quarter, condition is everything. Many examples entered circulation and experienced years of wear, scratches, and dulling. Others, however, were preserved with care, sometimes set aside from the moment they were minted. Coins that retain strong luster, sharp details, and clean surfaces stand out dramatically. Collectors examine the hair detail on Washington's portrait, the feathers on the eagle, and the overall strut to determine quality. Even small differences can transform a common coin into a sought-after collectible. Why this coin matters today? Why you might wonder why a modern-era quarter still sparks interest today. The answer lies in the intersection of history, rarity within condition categories, and collector demand. While millions were produced, far fewer remain in exceptional condition. As time passes, the pool of pristine examples continues to shrink. This natural process adds intrigue and importance to coins that once seemed ordinary. For many collectors, owning such a coin is like holding a perfectly preserved snapshot of American economic life in the early 1990s. The role of numismatics is more than collecting coins. It is the study of culture, art, economics, and history through metal. The 1993 Washington quarter is a perfect example of how even recent coins can tell powerful stories. It reflects minting technology of its time, design standards, and the values the nation chose to display on its currency. For new collectors, this coin often serves as an entry point into a much larger world. For experienced collectors, it represents a specific challenge, finding the best possible example among many. Market perception and long-term APPAL coins gain attention not only because of age, but because of perception. The Washington Quarter series enjoys widespread recognition and trust. Collectors know what to look for, grading services understand its nuances, and the market remains active. The 1993 issue sits at an interesting point where it is old enough to be historical, yet modern enough to be accessible. This balance gives it a unique appeal that continues to grow as interest in modern coinage expands. A coin with a quiet story. Unlike ancient or gold coins, this quarter does not shout its value. Its story is quiet, subtle, and patient. It invites you to look closer, to learn, and to appreciate details you might have overlooked before. That is the magic of coins like this. They reward curiosity. They remind us that value is not always obvious at first glance. Sometimes, it is hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone who knows what to look for. Final THOGHTSAs. We come to the end of this deep dive into the United States of America Washington quarter dollar. With the 1993 mint mark, remember this: every coin has a journey. From the moment it leaves the mint to the moment it rests in a collection, it gathers stories, history, and meaning. Whether you are a seasoned collector or someone just discovering the fascinating world of coins, this quarter stands as a reminder that even the most familiar objects can hold remarkable significance. We are diving deep into one such coin, the United States of America 1995 mint mark Washington quarter dollar. This is not just a piece of pocket change. This is a symbol of American heritage, a moment frozen in metal, and a coin that continues to spark curiosity among collectors and history lovers alike. The ERA of 1995 and AMERICA. The year 1995 was a fascinating time in American history. The country was moving confidently into the modern age, technology was expanding, and the economy was finding new rhythms after decades of change. Coins produced during this time reflect that era's balance between tradition and progress. The Washington quarter had already been a familiar face for generations, yet each year of minting added its own subtle chapter to the story. The 1995 issue stands as a quiet witness to that moment in time. Introducing the Washington Quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in the early 20th century as a tribute to the first president of the United States. By 1995, this design had become one of the most recognized images in American coinage. The strong profile of George Washington on the obverse represents leadership, resilience, and unity. Every line in the portrait reflects decades of refinement and respect for classical coin artistry. The significance of the P mint mark. One of the most important details on this coin is the P mint mark. This small letter indicates that the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, a facility deeply rooted in the history of American money. Philadelphia has long been associated with precision and tradition in coin production. A P mint mark tells collectors where the coin was born and connects it directly to one of the most historic mints in the nation. Design details that matter on the front of the coin. George Washington faces left, his expression calm and dignified. The word liberty appears boldly, reinforcing the ideals upon which the nation was built. The phrase "In God We Trust" is present as well, reminding us of the values that guided the country during its formation and growth. Turning the coin over, the reverse features the iconic eagle with outstretched wings. This powerful image symbolizes strength, freedom, and vigilance. The olive branches beneath the eagle represent peace, balancing power with responsibility. Every design element works together to tell a story that goes far beyond the size of the coin itself. Metal composition and craftsmanship. The 1995 Washington quarter follows the modern, clad composition used for circulating quarters. This construction gives the coin durability while maintaining a clean, attractive appearance. The layered metal structure was designed to withstand years of circulation, yet when preserved well, it still holds a crisp and appealing look. The craftsmanship of the Philadelphia Mint during this period is notable. Details in the hair, facial features, and lettering show careful attention to quality. Even though millions were produced, each coin represents a standard of excellence that collectors continue to appreciate. Why collectors care about this COI? And collectors are drawn to coins for many reasons. Some seek rarity, others chase historical connections, and many simply love the artistry. The 1995 P. Washington quarter sits at the crossroads of these interests. It may not scream for attention, but its appeal grows when examined closely. For collectors who focus on Washington quarters, each year and mint mark adds depth to a complete set. The Philadelphia issue from 1995 is an essential piece of that puzzle. It represents continuity in design while still holding its own identity within the series. Condition and preservation. Condition plays a vital role in how a coin is perceived. A well-preserved example of this quarter can display sharp details, strong luster, and minimal marks. Coins that have avoided heavy circulation often tell a clearer story of the mint's original craftsmanship. Collectors carefully examine surfaces, edges, and strike quality. Even small differences can influence how a coin is appreciated. This attention to detail is part of what makes coin collecting such a rewarding hobby. The emotional value of coins. Beyond metal and design, coins carry emotion. They pass through countless hands, pockets, and wallets. They travel across cities and states, silently observing daily life. Holding a 1995 Washington quarter can spark memories of the era, childhood experiences, or the simple joy of discovering something meaningful in everyday objects. For many collectors, coins are not just investments. They are connections to history, reminders of where we have been, and inspirations for learning more about the world around us. The place of the 1995 P quarter in modern collections in modern collections. This coin often represents a bridge between older classic designs and the changes that would come later with new quarter programs. It stands as part of the final years before major design shifts reshaped circulating coinage in the United States. Because of this, the 1995 P Washington quarter holds a quiet importance. It reminds collectors of a time when the design remained consistent, honoring tradition while the nation itself continued to evolve. Final thoughts for viewers as you look through your change or explore coin collections. Remember that every coin has a story. The United States of America 1995 P mint mark Washington quarter dollar is more than just a piece of currency. It is a small chapter of American history, a product of skilled craftsmanship, and a favorite among those who appreciate the deeper meaning behind everyday object. We journey into the fascinating world of the 2007 United States of America quarter dollar coin with the P mint mark, a coin that many people overlook, yet one that continues to spark curiosity among collectors and enthusiasts alike. Setting the stage, the year 2007 sits at an interesting point in modern American history. It was a time of change, innovation, and reflection. The United States Mint was in the middle of one of the most successful coin programs ever created, the 50 State Quarters program. This program captured the attention of millions, encouraging everyday people to look closely at their pocket change for the first time in decades. The 2007 quarter dollar coins became part of this cultural movement, turning ordinary currency into miniature works of art and historical storytelling. Understanding the P mint mark. The letter P on a United States coin stands for the Philadelphia Mint. This mint holds a special place in American history. It was the very first official mint of the United States, established in the late 18th century. By 2007, the Philadelphia Mint was producing millions of coins each year, including quarter dollars designed for everyday circulation. Even though these coins were made in large numbers, the presence of the P mint mark gives them a distinct identity, linking them directly to the birthplace of American coinage, design and artistic, meaning the 2007 quarter dollar continues the tradition of detailed design that defines modern U.S. coinage. The obverse features the familiar portrait of George Washington, a symbol of leadership, independence, and national unity. His profile has appeared on the quarter for generations, yet each new year brings subtle refinements in strike quality and detail. The reverse designs from 2007 reflect the ongoing state theme series, each one celebrating unique stories, landscapes, and cultural heritage from across the nation. These designs were more than decoration. They were educational tools, introducing millions of Americans to the history and identity of each state. A 2007 quarter with a P mint mark is not just a coin. It is a snapshot of a national storytelling project that united art, history, and everyday life. Why collectors pay attention? Many people assume that only very old coins hold value or interest. However, collectors know that modern coins can be just as fascinating. The 2007 P mint quarter dollar attracts attention because it represents a specific moment in time within a highly popular series. Collectors often search for examples with strong strikes, clean surfaces, and minimal wear. Even though these coins were meant for circulation, some survived in exceptional condition, preserved by chance or careful handling. The appeal also comes from accessibility. Unlike rare ancient coins locked away in museums, the 2007 quarter dollar was once within everyone's reach. This accessibility creates emotional value. Collectors remember the excitement of checking their change, hoping to complete a set or find a particularly sharp example from the Philadelphia Mint. Condition and preservation. Condition plays a crucial role in how collectors view any coin. A 2007 quarter dollar that has been heavily circulated may show scratches, dull surfaces, or worn details. On the other hand, a well-preserved example can still shine with crisp lines and original luster. Coins kept away from moisture, friction, and contaminants tend to maintain their appearance over time. This difference in condition can transform a common object into something worthy of admiration and careful storage. The story behind the year 2007 itself adds another layer of intrigue. It was a period just before major economic shifts, making coins from this time symbolic reminders of a changing financial landscape. Holding a 2007 quarter can feel like holding a quiet witness to history, a small metallic observer of events that shaped the modern world. For collectors, this emotional connection enhances the overall worth of the coin beyond its face value, cultural impact, and popularity. The popularity of the state quarter program created a generation of casual collectors. Families, students, and hobbyists all participated, sharing knowledge and excitement. The 2007 P-Mint quarter dollar played its part in this movement. Even today, people rediscover these coins in old collections, drawers, or albums, reigniting interest and curiosity. This ongoing attention keeps the coin relevant in the numismatic community. Investment perspective. While not every coin is meant to be a major investment, understanding potential worth is part of the excitement. Collectors often research mint marks, production quality, and historical context before deciding to keep or trade a coin. The 2007 quarter dollar with a P-Mint mark occupies a unique space where history, design, and modern collecting intersect. This balance between familiarity and fascination makes it a topic worth exploring in depth. Emotional and historical value. Beyond numbers and grades, coins carry stories. The 2007 P-Mint quarter dollar represents a shared national experience, a time when millions of people paused to look closely at their change. It symbolizes curiosity, education, and appreciation for craftsmanship. These emotional qualities often matter just as much as monetary considerations. Closing thoughts. As we come to the end of this journey, remember that value is not always immediately obvious. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, waiting for someone curious enough to look closer. The 2007 United States of America quarter dollar with the P-Mint mark reminds us that even the smallest objects can hold meaning, history, and interest far beyond their size. Today's video is dedicated to a coin that many people have held in their hands without ever realizing its deeper story or potential worth. We are talking about the United States of America 2018 P-Mint mark quarter dollar coin. This is not just another piece of pocket change. It is a symbol of modern American minting, a favorite among collectors, and a coin that continues to spark conversations in the numismatic world. Stay with us until the very end, because the true value and worth of this coin will be revealed in words only. Exactly as promised, the power of the modern quarter quarter dollar coins have always played a major role in American daily life. From vending machines to parking meters, from laundry rooms to toll booths, the quarter has been one of the most used coins in the United States. But beyond its everyday use, the quarter dollar holds a powerful place in American coin collecting. Especially in recent decades, modern quarters have gained attention due to special designs, mint marks, and limited releases. The 2018 quarter dollar is part of a larger story that began years earlier with the transformation of the quarter, from a simple design into a moving canvas of American heritage, culture, and national pride. The United States Mint and the Philadelphia Legacy. The Philadelphia Mint is one of the most important minting facilities in the history of the United States. Coins produced here often carry the P-Mint mark, a small letter that signifies a proud legacy of craftsmanship and precision. The P-Mint mark on a quarter tells collectors that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, a facility known for producing coins with strong strikes and clean details. In 2018, the Philadelphia Mint continued its tradition by releasing quarters that reflected both artistry and technical excellence. These coins were not only intended for circulation but also for collectors who appreciate modern American coinage, design and artistic detail. As the 2018 P-Mint Mark quarter is admired for its detailed design and balanced appearance. The obverse side features the familiar portrait of George Washington, a design that has become iconic in American history. The expression, the hair detail, and the inscriptions all reflect the careful engraving that modern minting technology allows. The reverse design depends on the specific series released during that year, often highlighting national parks, historic sites, or culturally significant locations. Each reverse design tells a story, making the coin more than just metal. It becomes a miniature monument, carrying history in the palm of your hand. Why collectors pay attention to this coin? Many people assume that only old coins hold value, but modern coins can be just as exciting for collectors. The 2018 P-Mint Mark quarter stands out because it represents a time when coin collecting reached a new generation. Programs related to these quarters encouraged young collectors, educators, and families to look more closely at their change. Collectors focus on several factors when evaluating this coin. These include condition, strike quality, luster, and the presence of any unusual features. Coins that remain in uncirculated or near-perfect condition often attract the most attention. The role of condition and preservation condition is one of the most important aspects of coin value. A 2018 P-Mint Mark quarter that has never been heavily circulated can look dramatically different from one that has spent years in pockets and registers. Sharp details, clean surfaces, and original shine all contribute to a coin's appeal. Many collectors choose to store these quarters in protective holders or albums to preserve their condition. Even though the coin is relatively modern, proper care can make a significant difference in long-term desirability. Errors and varieties that spark interest. Another reason this coin receives attention is the possibility of mint errors, or varieties. While not common, errors such as off-center strikes, double details, or unusual surface marks can turn an ordinary quarter into a highly discussed collectible. These variations add excitement to the hunt and keep collectors checking their change with curiosity and hope. Even when no error is present, the search itself becomes part of the joy of collecting. The emotional value of modern coins like the 2018 P-Mint Mark quarter carry emotional value as well. They remind people of a specific time period, personal memories, or the excitement of starting a collection. For some, this quarter might have been the first coin they ever saved intentionally. For others, it represents a complete set finally finished. This emotional connection adds another layer of worth that goes beyond metal and minting. Long-term collecting potential. Modern quarters are often underestimated, but history shows that today's everyday coins can become tomorrow's collectibles. The 2018 P-Mint Mark quarter is part of a broader movement that brought attention back to circulating coinage. As time passes and fewer high-quality examples remain, interest in well-preserved pieces can grow. Collectors who understand this potential often view these coins as long-term additions rather than quick finds. Why this coin still matters today even years after its release. The 2018 P-Mint Mark quarter continues to be discussed, collected, and evaluated. It stands as a reminder that coin collecting is not only about age but also about story, design, and cultural relevance. This quarter reflects a modern chapter in American numismatics, connecting tradition with innovation. Final thoughts before the reveal. As we reach the end of this deep dive, remember that value is not always obvious at first glance. A simple quarter can hold layers of history, craftsmanship, and collector interest. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or someone just beginning to explore the world of coins, the 2018 P-Mint Mark quarter dollar deserves a second look.